All right, on this chilly mid morning, ain't that cold. I just got on a t-shirt. Anyway, again, another update and recording of activities. This goes back to yesterday. All right, so this one gonna take a minute to explain. Not really. Basically, if you ever watch where I got this, basically the whole idea of making these recordings instead of just writing down, each incident, like they told you in those EO training classes. It's 2019. Whenever I started last year, you can record it. Make a video. Even if I can't, I'm not fast enough, or am not recording all the time. I got to pull out my phone, but I can. But back then, there was no medium for the average person. Unless you're carrying around a VHS camera, VCR camera, other than that. So, and still it's the same. It still goes the same on your jobs, EO, you go in and you say you're female, your boss harassed you, touched you, you don't have no buts, you gotta record it right afterwards. You leave, you write it down. Black, whatever, a minority, he did something to you, he called you out your name, or, hey boy, I'm a grown man, yada, yada, yada. You leave out the office, you're mad, you write it down, and you write each incident, each time. Hey boy, come here, every day, he's doing this every day. Finally, you got enough, you go to human resources. Anyway, long story short, another thing does come from fiction. TV shows, movies, a lot of them do it, not just one. What those shows where there always is a burned spy, and so they know that the feds are listening, and they're like, hey, if you want the box, I know this line is tapped. You come meet me at so and so station, train station on Fifth Street, and because they know their phone is tapped and this and that, and they're a badass. But anyway, so yeah. And trust me, another reason was that I started noticing, like I might have a guest or whatever just a couple years ago, and then people know what's going on inside my house, the conversation, or either I'm on the phone with somebody that doesn't stay in the same state. So you just basically start noticing. So yeah, I started, I'm in my house by myself, and I started talking out loud. I mean, I know they had to realize what I was doing. Because remember, I said in these videos, it's like, to me, it's like leaving marked money, when a bank robbery, or not even a bank robbery, when they're doing undercover drug buys, they use marked money to know who the big man is. They give them 30,000 in marked bills, so they could tell who the big guy is, not the guy who delivered it and takes the money, but the big guy. So it's like leaving a trail. Okay, so again, I did it again the other day. I was listening. Really, I was just listening to old music from my time when I was in the military, right? And it was literally, now I'm joking, it's like a magical time. It was, I was felt grown now. I'm out the house. I'm not a teenager. I'm about 20. And all this, you grew up, and it's like the music was kind of growing up to me. You know, it was different. Different rappers, and some of them was brand new. Some of them that are considered the best ever. They were. Some of us had been listening to one of them for years by then. Well, another one, he was just coming out, and they playing the music in the clubs around the bases, and just like the rest of the country or the world. So yeah, I got memories, and even though all this stuff is going on. So anyway, I bring it up again. I'm in here by myself. This is just last week. What does this have to do with anything? I pointed out one certain song. I said, man, I remember when this came out. I'm by myself, but I know I don't know if they got listening advice or whatever. I'm not spending the money to go through all that sweeping. Other people like that, They pointed out that those articles you could look up. Some of them, I think I posted. I still got some saved, but I know for a fact because, like I said, it's too a lot of the stuff I say is too abstract. You might want to say, "Oh, that's common knowledge." It's too abstract. No, it isn't. No. And when somebody walks up, supposedly a stranger, and out the blue, see, that's how it's supposed to work. Because if you weren't aware of this subliminal programming, you would just think it's, oh my goodness, I can't believe that. I'm all the way on the other side of the country and I run into someone, you're in California from the same neighborhood, then you run into someone from New York. That happens, right? But it's just they know the same people, and New York is a big city, huge, as far as people. It's small, literally, what, especially Manhattan, all that, the boroughs, they're small, but millions of people, other cities, other states, way land-wise, huger, but population-wise, it's only like 100,000 people, you know. But so that's too much of a coincidence. But it's like they didn't think all that. They're just going too far. Like I said, they're arrogant. Their arrogance, just nobody, this is unprovable. And you're hiring all these people who have no discipline, no training at all. Their egos are getting hurt, and especially with me. And like I said, the reason I started talking bad about them is like before I realized or found out it's a program. I started noticing, people I know that get, I'm like, wait a minute, but when you do something good, I don't get jealous of you. What is wrong with you? It's like, hey, that's a nice new car, man. Shit, that's what's up. With them is, nasty in their attitude. Get you another one, huh? What the fuck, nigga? What is wrong with you? I've known you this long. I'm now. You getting salty? What the hell is wrong? I don't even know you no more. It's almost regret, nigga. I regret saving your life. Shit like that. You don't want to say stuff like that, and it's just. So anyway, I'm bringing up. I brought up Fayetteville State. I'll say that because it was right outside my unit, and I was just this whole time. But see, I was brand new at the unit, brand new in the army, brand new, now permanent party, AIT basic jump school, airborne school, and brand new, boom. So yeah, you had me and a partner. He wasn't in my unit; he's in the other unit, but. And this guy, you gangsters probably know for a fact who I'm talking about. But so anyway, the guy yesterday, one of the salesmen, you could tell what type of nigga he is. He come in ill-fitting. I don't know. Supposed to be dressing proper like a grown man, but no, this just look like whatever, dress pants. But his body, he needed to work out. He needed to lose weight. He's shaped like Carl Winslow. His hair don't look. He got his hair, but his body type, and he's dressing with nice clothes, nice slacks. But bro, you need to work out, but something. You could, so anyway, as he's talking to the barber, I forgot about this. He says he just makes sure to say, I went to Fayetteville State already. This is just last week, and they set up this operation, I'll call it, for yesterday. So I went, and I didn't say anything. And like I said, he comes in and pitches his pitch to me, And him and the woman, they also use other code words. I only heard females say, I'm a professional. When she was, like, if you watched the video yesterday, they were arguing about the way she treated her brother. And only a female, black, that this is what I know from personal. I don't know about the rest of y'all. Females who went to college and, and having to say what you are. But see, they're females. I said that's okay. Because like I said, she was nervous. Not because there was dudes in there, and she was with her male partner, but he's not the type to, he couldn't have did shit to really protect her, but But like I said, it's almost like that's why she was gravitating to me, not just because I agreed with her, but that Mr. How we Pillsbury Doughboy, he's soft in the middle. I call him nothing else, but he's a dude, but he's just soft. But yeah, so you could tell her that it wasn't just embarrassment because he was saying she was, I guess, low down for not taking care of her brother, drug addict brother. And I was like, no, you're wrong, bro. That's not the only, see, from what he's saying, I go to my church, he goes to church, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, you just picking what you want to hear. After a while, it's not even after a while, you realize that he means you no good, and blood is thicker than water. I don't think that's in the Bible. That's not in the Bible verse. Or maybe, I don't know, I gotta look it up. I'm freestyling right now. But, so anyway, he makes, and then he comes and makes his way over to me. He gave me his spiel. And while they was all talking earlier, when he first said something about Fayetteville State, normally I would have jumped in, but I just listened. But when he came, I said, "Oh yeah, I heard you about 2-3 minutes ago say you went to Fayetteville State." I said, "I used to be around there." My point in bringing this up again, that narrative that the college, as everybody's saying, all colleges, not just HBCUs, just all the how they're this war on regular people, where they're, and it's not about being educated. With black folks, maybe it's about, oh, I got a degree. But all of that shit is dead. What I mean by that, remember, like when back in our day, mind is a terrible thing. That's the only way out the hood besides being an actor, a rapper, or athlete. Well, at that time, being a rapper wasn't even such a good thing yet. Even though we had a couple of megastars, literally just a couple of groups. But in the commercials is always, oh, I'm the first one to go to college in my family. All right, so but anyway, now it's like that all kind of liberal, that brainwashing. So, and what I mean by that, they hate the patriarchy. And why I say by that, the little subtle things he said, and you could say he was just talking, but no. First of all, I know he's in there. This whole thing is because what I was talking about Fayetteville State. So I said, yeah, I heard you say you. I said, yeah, I used to hang around there for a little bit. Because really, it is like, I grew out of it. I started getting promoted. You're not hanging out as much after work. And it wasn't not just, well, because I think really, because, when you first get there, you're still young, you're fresh. I got maybe high school minded. And, but his point was, he said, oh, yeah, because this whole reason for being there is for me. He says, yeah, I knew you Army guys, y'all was to just be up on that. And I'm like, actually, no, because I really don't remember anybody else hanging around there, And actually, I had to tell him, I said, no, bro, and it's not a brag. My friend met her at the club on post. This was before September 11, and Fort Bragg was, big, wide open post. It's still big, but, now it's, you can't just get on. It was open. Anybody could just drive through. It was like driving through another city. And so, no, they would come to, the college students would come to that club. It was just another spot around town. Just, that's how, otherwise, I didn't know there was a college around there, And it's like, oh, shit, it's just a couple of minutes away from here. Oh, really? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. And like I said, he met them at the club one night. We only had been there maybe a couple of weeks. My point is that training, they give them brainwashing. He's automatically, I think, with that, oh, massager, yeah, you guys were preying on the girls at Fed. They're like, no, bitch, they was at the club on post. See what I'm saying? You fucking sucker. Pillsbury Doughboy. It's not because you went to college. It has nothing to do with that. You ain't got to be soft. Just because you got, nobody, like I said, that shit been dead making fun of someone because they're smart. Nah, we all love the nigga that was smart. That's what's up. When you see him nowadays, the nigga you went to school with, and he's still doing good. Shit, that was up. Well, But That jealousy shit they trying to put in these kids' heads. All this whole, I'm telling you, that all this shit is coming to a head because it's like they don't understand that. It's like some reason they don't stand human. Like the dude over there. I don't know if y'all can see him. He just came out. You see him? Oh, that's pretty neat. I just started using it. But the Zoom feature. But so he comes out. You see the arrogance, it's like motherfucker. That's what I be talking about. See that, like I said, they're trying. I'm seeing in the comment sections now. It's like they're not damage control. Cause just a couple of days ago, last week, they was dissing anybody hard who isn't on their side. Now they're trying to soften the blow. Remember, be nice to people. It's just like the dude in the store yesterday. I saw one. Remember when you're trying to help someone, don't I say, no, this is not trying to help, bro. You tried to kill us. You don't get. Hey, nobody's trying to help you. You went past that point. You declared war, buddy. Y'all, that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't understand what y'all tried to do. That's why I've been trying all my videos. Remember, I kept laughing and saying y'all are stupid. That wasn't an insult. That was a fucking warning. Remember, I kept saying I wouldn't do it. I ain't no way in hell I'll be doing this dumb shit. And it's getting to that point. There's no be nice now. They were no, bitch. You declared war on your own citizens. There is nobody's trying to help you. Being insulted is the least of your worries. You should be trying to ask for clemency, help. Not that type of help. Not somebody giving you advice. You need help, like what do you call it? Asylum somewhere. With the shit y'all pulled, it finally just comes out. You done lost your. I told you these motherfuckers were arrogant and crazy. And now some of the operatives are trying to, soften them. Oh, well, you just be nice. Don't when like when you're trying to help someone. I guess maybe what he was trying to say, what he's thinking about, maybe someone who's on drugs, and don't insult them. Like again, like they was telling the lady yesterday. So you keep talking about your brother. That's and like I said, you're an idiot. You're gonna go broke if you had someone in your life like that. God doesn't want you to do that. Like I said, there's in our society we got help. You're not capable of stopping someone from using drugs on your own. This ain't no TV reality show. You're gonna make them quit cold turkey. No, it ain't working like that. They filling your heads up with nonsense, and it's getting to that point that you really ain't gonna have no options, and ain't no, don't be no bitch. You literally declared war. At wartime, everything is fair. You trying these word games, and you see that they all coming out. They scared now, not of me, but because they see their bosses are fucking up. In real time fucking up. It just acting, I told y'all on these videos, if you go through my video, I told y'all months ago, these motherfuckers don't care about y'all. They got y'all doing dumb shit. Y'all gonna take the fall. Just dumb. Use the excuse I had no choice. I had families, and what about especially the ones, me personally, the ones gang stalkers well, you had this money and you got money from the blah, 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 blah. Hey, if you can go down to the VA and tell them to apply for benefits and they give it to you, that is no shit off of my ass. I told you what to do. And I'm being sarcastic, meaning you just can't, any man can't or woman can't just walk in. So more power to you, bro. I'm not like y'all. I'm trying to. One person even tried that, right? Years ago. Like I said, at the time, it's probably, I didn't know. I knew something, like I said. But anyway, long story short, there was another vet, and me and him was talking all the time, right? And I am telling him stuff. He's a little bit older than me, but at that point, they sent another one who was on my rating, my level, and he, you know, like I said, me and him talk too, but all of us is black. So anyway, another guy comes up to me and say, "Hey man, you know they talking about you. You know, like I said, this is my old city." So I can appreciate that. You know, he's strange, but he said they were talking about you, and I'm like, "What about?" He said, "How come you ain't tell the other guy? Because he knew both of us veterans." He said, "Why ain't you trying to help him?" I said, "What are you talking about?" And he told me about this new program Obama had started. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't know about that. He just helped me. You know, at the time I knew it was something funny, but so I knew the whole thing was being fishy. I'm like, see, exactly. I say like I talk, you dumb bitch. You just helped me out. I didn't know about the new program. That's why I didn't tell him. You trying to make it like I'm being low down, and that's how I know for a fact they were trying to make it like I'm hoarding something or jumped over the line or jumped in line in front of them. And at that point, I didn't know about this new program. Really, it was just a school program, going to school and pay. And when I went to school, it was just regular VA benefits. But I'm like, see what I'm saying? You up there trying to be dirty and nasty. Not just you, but the other guy. He tried to like, hey, that guy, he ain't tell. I didn't know about that. And while you trying to be dirty, you helped me. You see what I'm saying? You meant bad for me, but trying to do bad for me, and you just hit me to the game. I didn't know. You see what I'm saying? It's just evil, nasty shit. I didn't know all this shit was this. It's coming to a head, right? I talk about normally I don't talk about things like this because it might make it seem like I'm trying to be a YouTube, but I'm telling you this is all connected. This is more proof. As a matter of fact, the video I seen yesterday of one of them representatives questioning the head of Border Patrol or ICE or whatever, he did exactly what I was talking about. The barbershop guy did, just acting insane. His name is Al Green, right? I'm not commenting on this like I'm one of them YouTubers that's political. What I'm telling you, that's how deep this fucking. But I've been told you it's worldwide. There's a lot of other people who are saying that what the Democrats are doing about this globalist, they call it globalist thing, with what we used to just call it in the movies, the New World Order, and it's real. They're really, but you see how just insane they look. Not even insane like your insane bad guy like Dr. No or not Dr. Evil, but just mentally ill. Cause the guy, watch, look it up. As a matter of fact, there was a video of the AOC chick asking the same question a couple of months ago, and they still trying to sound smart. And it's like you're looking yourself, especially the Al Green guy, because you've been in so long, and he's asked, basically he tried to just be so smart with the questioning that without logic, trying to win by making the guy look stupid. He's the head of ICE, but the point was, this had nothing to do with agreeing with white folks or black folks, or they trying to get black folks like see how they doing the Mexicans, and it's like, wait a minute, they're sticking up more for Mexicans than you. Illegals, not Mexican American, but they wanted to say, oh, if you're black, you're racist, you're selling out. It's like, no, that's the one who's selling out. This motherfucker been running our city. Everybody we know that went to prison and is dead because of them Democrats. All your friends, all your family members, years in prison, some decades. And this motherfucker sitting up here putting on this Superman cape, trying to get, because what it is, like I said, they weaponize putting people in jail. If you're not going with the program, you go to jail. And they want all these people to come in, voter fraud, so they can vote for Democrats. Because instead of fixing and doing their job, they want to just rig the election. And you niggas, you falling for that shit, you a fucking fool. Like, you were born here and they trying to replace you. And I tell you why, because look at what happened yesterday. He said this thing looks like a fucking lunatic. He said, what do you mean? Because the guy he says what I said. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but the director of ICE, he said what I've been started putting. Well, you can say whatever I think. Oh, you're paranoid. I started planting in the comments section. Hey, look, fuck that. If you break a law, any of us Americans, whatever color you are, you have your children in the car when this happens, while you transporting dope from Chicago to Atlanta or whatever, And you get caught, they take your children away from you. They don't go, oh well, since you got children in the car, you go ahead and transport. No, your children get separated. They go to child services, and they still on this shit. Even yesterday, and what they're trying to do is say, well, no, these are the good Mexicans, which is fine. But like everybody's saying, they still broke the law. Period. When you enter illegally, no, they're getting here. They're doing good. They're adding to protection. The Al Green guy, and it's like he couldn't understand. He's trying to keep asking, like, make the guy look like he's a bad guy liar. He kept trying to ask it, like, but they didn't bring, because the guy, the director used the same thing. He said, well, he said himself, if I break the law and my sons or whatever, my children, they're going to get taken away from me. So why? And the guy, the Al Green guy, is like, you can look it up. Just type it in. Yesterday, the ICE director, Al Green, Representative Green, and he's like, but they didn't commit a crime, and everybody's like, yes, they did. I'm like, I know you visited other countries. You can't go into no country illegally. You can't even just, maybe back in the day, years ago, you could walk into Mexico, walk out, something like that, but for the most part, you just, if the country closes their borders, that's it, bro. They still, well, they didn't. Yes, they did, man. That's the whole point. Why are y'all fighting so hard for this? And you're trying to, well, it's compassion. It's like, no, they knew what they were doing. Like I said, what about all the Americans who were trying to escape? What are you talking about? They were trying to escape poverty, right? At your nasty ass neighborhoods that you represent. So they selling drugs to fucking escape poverty, right? But you put them in jail. You separated their families. You broke up their families. But you're not fighting for them. I mean, it just makes you sick. And these are our own people. And he's sitting there on national TV in front of the whole world. Then he says, "Oh, I agree. That is a crime." I'm like, well, first of all, if y'all care so much about them having to flee South America and Colombia, why not end the war on drugs? Where are the Colombian cartel? They getting all this money to chop people's heads and do all the weapons from Americans and the rest of the world. But if you make drugs legal, no more money. Like a good TV show. I'm not hyping Netflix, but one they do have. It's just Prohibition. It's a documentary. It's just, to some people it might be boring. To me, it's just very interesting. It's just, got the black and white, shows the temperance movement and what started. They might take it off now that I said something about it, but the temperance movement in the 1900s, cause like I said, where it started, how it all started, like in 1901, the women, they're upset, the husbands drinking and coming home beating them and the kids, and the religious people, and you had black leaders who, this is bad for all of us. We're not gonna get our equal rights if, the black men are drunk, and also the racist people, they didn't want black people to drink. That all this is in the thing. They really, cause think about it. Liquid courage. Oh, you don't want a black man drinking. It's 1901. So they all, at first, was for prohibition. Everybody. And it did way worse outlawing it, because you're not going to stop people from doing the vice cops. It made things worse. You created all these criminals and shit like that, trying to stop it. And it was pointing out, it's a episode series, people getting sick because of you buying it from people who unscrupulous. It's not regulated, so they cutting it with ethanol or paint thinner and shit like that. And so that even the nuns who, years before had wanted it, were now like, going back to Congress and the repeal. This is way worse. The murders and it's like the drug trade. Why why not just make it legal? All of it. I don't care, and it's like they don't. That's how I tell you they choose stupid people. Because like I said, the guy I was working with, he said, I don't want drug addicts living next to me. I said this a couple of months ago. I'm trying to explain. I'm like, you're thinking about what you're thinking about is leaving it in the hands of dealers and just not prosecuting, going after them, decriminalizing, not legalizing it to where corporations would come in. Either way, then the only gripe would be, oh, see the big corporations, because someone who was selling drugs illegally who now wants to turn legal, he probably couldn't afford it because of all the regulations. And he was probably making a nice, or she was making a nice living selling drugs illegally. But now they can't afford it, So the big farmer comes in and takes over the cocaine and the heroin, and which they're doing, you know. And that gives all of the selling themselves for drugs, all of that. It's just like in the past when alcohol was prohibition. You got the speakeasies and the prostitutes and this and that. Drugs are legal now. It's not $10 for a little tiny piece. It's probably wherever. I don't know how they would do it, but now it's it's not so expensive. No, nowhere near as expensive because it's not illegal. So they're not taking a risk. The killings and the fighting over turf and the just taking the risk of killing each other because one might be a snitch or undercover DEA or all of that. You take away all of that. You could just walk into your drugstore or whatever and buy your little fix of cocaine. It's like, so no, the drug addicts that you don't want living next to you right now, that wouldn't exist no more. They're not on the street. Come on, man, I suck your dick. No, because it's first of all, it's not made by people in a hut in Colombia, then shipped here and cut by Leroy in his trap house, air quotes. No, it's made in probably some bigger. It would be made somewhere else, in a corporation by employees regulated. They got the inspectors to come through and inspecting the equipment, shit like that. It's not made by you watch one of the documentaries where it starts off in Colombia, and women and they chopping up the coca leaves. So it's not all of that. The basically the pookie crackhead is not that, I would think. But anyway, I'm running out of tape. I'll probably think of something else anyway about these, because these idiots are going crazy.